Charley's First Night by Amy Hest. Illustrated by Helen Oxenberry. Published by Candlewick Press. It was snowing that night, and Charley wanted me to carry him home. So I carried him all the way home. I carried him in my old baby blanket, which was soft and midnight blue, and we were new together, and I was very, very careful not to slip in the snow. And I thought about his name. I was the one who thought up his name. Charley. Charley Corn. My name is Henry Corn. This is home. That's what I told Charley when we got home, and I showed him all the rooms, including my room. I showed him my bed and the place where my mother hides your birthday present when it's the day before your birthday. This is home, Charley. I said that a lot so Charley would know he was home. My mother, Mrs. Corn, and my father, Mr. Corn, were pretty clear about who would be in charge of walking Charley. I would be in charge of walking Charley, they said, and I couldn't wait to walk Charley every day forever. They were pretty clear about who would be in charge of feeding Charley. I would be in charge of feeding Charley, they said, and I couldn't wait to feed Charley every day forever. They were also pretty clear about where Charley would be sleeping. Charley would be sleeping in the kitchen, they said, and I thought about Charley in the kitchen, alone, every night, forever. Charley wants to sleep in my room, I said. Charley will be sleeping in the kitchen, they said. We fixed up a pillow bed for Charley in the kitchen, under the table where the heat comes up, and I put my old bear Bobo in the pillow bed for Charley. And I thought about how I used to sleep with Bobo every night. I put my small red clock between Charley and Bobo. Tick-tock, tick-tock, like another little heartbeat in the night. Charley curled up in a ball, and I put my face next to his, and I waited for Charley to fall asleep. And I thought about how my mother and father sometimes used to wait for me to fall asleep. And soon Charley fell asleep. He made a soft breathing sound, and his soft breathing sound made me sleepy too. I went to my room and sat up in my bed and looked out the window, and snow was falling over the city and the park and the trees in the park, and I thought about playing with Charley in the park in the snow. The crying started in the middle of the night, and you knew right away it was Charley. Don't cry, Charley, don't cry. I ran to the kitchen and scooped him and held him close in my strong arms, and he shivered. Slowly, we walked around the house, and I showed him my room again and my bed. I showed him my mother and father, sound asleep in their bed, and held Charley close in my strong arms. After a while, I put Charley in his pillow bed and rubbed his tummy, and Charley smiled, the way a friend smiles when you say, "Hey, let's be friends forever." I rubbed his back and the soft place behind his ears, and he was really, really sleepy. And the moon made its own light that night in the kitchen, right near Charley. "Night, Charley," I said. "Night, Charley boy." A long time later, I heard crying again and flew out of bed to Charley. "Don't cry, Charley, don't cry." I scooped him up and held him close in my strong arms, and he shivered. I showed him how the moon made its own light in the kitchen that night. The moon did it for you, I told Charley, and he licked my nose, and it tickled. Slowly, we walked around the house again, and I showed him my room again. Charley wanted me to put him on my bed, so I put him on my bed and thought about how my mother and father were pretty clear about where Charley should not sleep. Charley wanted me on my bed, so I lay down on the bed next to Charley, and we looked in each other's eyes. Charley has brown eyes, and mine are green, and I told him we could be best friends if he wants, and Charley looked in my eyes, and I looked in his. I love you, Charley boy. That's what I told Charley. We didn't mean to fall asleep, but we both fell asleep on my bed. And that's exactly where we slept all through the night on Charley's first night.